Way so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Namaste, gangsters, and welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope, as always, you, my friend, are doing well. I really do hope that. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Chelsea News. A little bit late this morning, I'm sorry. But we're here. Here we are to reflect on all the footballing stuff regarding Chelsea Football Club, mate. Yeah. Big Ornstein has given us some insight of what's going to happen with the restructuring at Chelsea with the famous Cobham Academy. What's going to happen now? Of course, Enzo got through to the next round of the Copa. We saw Caicedo and Paez exit. Caicedo's had an incredible tournament in the Copa America. Incredible. We saw Estevao Willian scoring an absolute golazo and dropping the Cole Palmer again. Absolutely sensational goal. What a player. And Fabrizio Romano has been speaking about the incredible market opportunity that Juventus are willing to sell Federico Chiesa for as little as £16 million. Woof. Woof. Wow. All right, well, let me know what you think. We're going to get into it today. Thank you for supporting the content. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Comment as you go, of course. Share the video if you want to show some sweet love. Let's get into it. Yes, of course, we saw, I didn't personally see, I was sleeping like a baby, but Ecuador played Argentina in the Copa America yesterday. Sadly, Enzo got through. Due to a Emi Martinez masterclass in goal in the penalty shootout, as usual. God, I'd love that goalkeeper at Chelsea. Messi, Mr. Panenka, high profile, him and Ronaldo constantly making headlines. But yes, it sees Paez, of course, who's broke more records of being the youngest player ever to play certain games or whatever. Great for him. Sad for Caicedo, but I saw rightly rotating on social media a reminder that Moises Caicedo didn't get a pre-season last summer at Chelsea because he wanted the move, he was pushing for the move, therefore he wasn't pre-season training with Brighton, and he ended up joining Chelsea very, very late and having to settle in and having the pressure of being the all-time record signing for a Premier League player. ASMR for you there. So it's tough, and this, though he'll be disappointed to be out of the Copa America, he will be, well, we should be happy that he has the opportunity to have a proper preseason and train and get into the system. You know, apparently we've got a manager called Enzo Maresca. Has he been spotted yet? I don't even know if he's been spotted. Maybe he'll be doing media soon because, of course, Chelsea have announced officially Neil Bath is leaving Chelsea. So they said like a very respectful goodbye message, which is good. Which is positive, and we're probably going to jump into that next and find out what's going to happen now, man. So Ornstein's published this on The Athletic. He's wrote this. Chelsea are set to appoint Glenn van der Kraan, double A, from Manchester City as a prominent figure in their restructured academy setup, following the shock departures, of course, both of Neil Bath and Jim Fraser. Van der Kraan joined City from Feyenoord back in 2020 as head of coaching and has established a strong reputation across the industry for his work around talent development at a age group level. A lot of people are jumping ship from Man City. It's almost like something's happening there. Allegedly, potentially, speculatively. I'm just going to screw my... Is that okay? Is that good? Okay, fine. Yes, sorry, just sorting out my microphone there for those of you who are not watching the video. Yes, so Man City, head of development guy, Van der Kraan. The Dutchman informed City of his decision on Thursday. Of course, Friday we are recording. And will now take a significant position in the New Look organisation at Stamford Bridge. Everything's just rebuilding from top to bottom, isn't it? I hope this works. I hope this is all good. I hope this is good planning, you know? I just hope. Van der Kraan knows Chelsea's co-sporting director of recruitment and, of course, and talent, sorry, that's his name, What are you? Well, I'm the co-director of recruitment and talent. And that's Joe Shields, of course, from a period of when they overlapped at Man City, of course. Shields rose to become City's head of academy recruitment and talent management by the time he left for a head of senior recruitment post at Southampton, of course, in 2022, only for Chelsea to quickly swoop in and make a move for the Englishman as he started with the West London club in January 2023. Amid Bath and Fraser leaving, Shields is expected to occupy an influential role in the revamped system, guys, which will be overseen by sporting directors Stuart and Winstanley. God, it is a massive network and it's all intertwined, isn't it? The academy, the first team, the satellite clubs and the multi-club model, and everyone's going to be joined up thinking. To their credit, they're sticking to their plan. Let's just hope the plan works, eh? Bath exits after 3 decades at Chelsea. Incredible work, and has expanded remit since 2022. So Van der Kraan is not directly replacing him, but forms part of a succession plan that Chelsea have been working on for a considerable amount of time. A considerable amount of time. Well, it's good that they're not bloody rushing it. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know who this dude is. You know, I don't put a microscope over Man City to see their inner workings. I don't want to. I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to do that. Yes, so he's apparently very good. That's what the mood is saying. That's what the streets are saying. That's the mood of the streets. The mood of the streets. You know what I'm saying. People are saying he is good, and this is a great acquisition for Chelsea Football Club, and maybe, just maybe, we are doing some intelligent work here. I'm not saying it was the right decision to get rid of what I deem a genius in Neil Bath, but clearly, I mean, they did want him to stay. Even the people, the truth seekers about Bath not being happy said, yeah, Chelsea wanted to keep him. He wanted to go. So, they've got a plan. They're building a new structure. Yes, all right. So, let me know what you think about that. It'd be very interesting to see how it develops. I mean, we've got good people in there. Certainly, Joe Shields is one of the good guys. And we move on. I don't know. Obviously, I sort of mentioned as well, Esteban Willian scored a golazo for Palmeiras. And, of course, he hit the Cole Palmer celebration. So cold. I wonder... But go and see this goal, man. If you haven't watched this goal, it's ridiculous. Like, it is ridiculous. For any of you guys that are, like, not actually playing closer to... Why can't I speak English? For those of you who are not paying close attention to these youngsters and they're just going, oh, Chelsea is signing another teenager. What are we doing? We're signing children. What are we... Have a look. Have a look. Look, Mark Yu looks very good and he could be a great profile in terms of development in the future. He costs 5 million, whatever. You might be a little bit like, why are we spending all this money on Estavo Willian and Kendry Pires and all this kind of stuff? Look at them. Go and look at them, what they can do. And look at this goal that Messini, I don't know if he wants to keep the name Messinio, but Estevao scores. He's a superstar. And I was sort of joking on my social media at Football Yannick, if you want to follow. I was kind of joking of Cole Palmer, like the first time he saw Estevao drop the Palmer celebration and tag Cole sort of put a wink and a blue heart. But he keeps dropping that celebration and Cole's no longer interacting with that. He's probably thinking, this guy, not that he's stealing my celebration, but this guy who's younger than me, Cole's of course a young player himself, but this guy's like 5 years younger than him, younger than me. He's playing in my position, which is essentially right wing and number 10. He's a left footer like me. He's scoring golazzos and he's doing my celebration. It's almost like he's coming for a spot at Chelsea. Obviously, that would take some doing, but my word, what a player! What a player! And he's technically, you could see him, and say next season, at the end of next season, the extended next season, of course, in the Club World Cup. I'm not saying he'll be like suddenly just appear in Chelsea's first team and suddenly play out of nowhere. But without integrating. But you have every right to be excited about what is an absolute little superstar. Wicked. Alright, mate, so let's move on. Of course, yesterday's video, we look at Mitoma, because Ben Jacobs reported that Chelsea are interested in Mitoma and appreciate him. And once collectively we move on from the visceral disgust reaction in our guts from being linked to a Brighton player. Yeah, he's a great player. Senior, 27 years old, Mitoma. Very, very dribbly. We did look at his stats, very impressive. And even if we double his Brighton wages, I speculate that would still only represent like Mudryk level wages. I would really like that personally. And of course, today people are talking about Federico Chiesa. He is such a strange player. First of all, before we talk about him a bit more, the news is coming from Fabrizio Romano. It's a crazy market opportunity it's being billed as. Juventus are willing to sell Federico Chiesa for 16 to 21 million pounds. So it could be the low bracket, 16 million pounds. That's like a third of what we've bought Esteval for. And it's Federico Chiesa, this high profile. He's high profile. Obviously, he comes from a good footballing lineage as well. Look, he's not been great at Juventus. And what people know Chiesa for is being an absolute monster for Italy sometimes. Of course, he played for Fiorentina. He had some good numbers. Juve snapped him up like they do with everyone who does well in Serie A. They just do, don't they? Where was, like, I'm trying to think, was Dybala somewhere else before he was at Juve? Obviously, people like, I'm just trying to think of players that end up at Juve. They always do. Like, obviously, Motta's ended up at Juve. For some reason, all I can think of is Higuain at the moment from Napoli. But there are loads of examples of players playing well in Italy and then just going to Vlahovic. There you go, Vlahovic. Wasn't he at Fiorentina as well? Anyway, point being, it's just like a well-trodden path and it's a bit boring. It's like everyone going to Bayern in the Bundesliga, you know, or PSG in Liga. Yeah, really high profile. Like, he's torn us to pieces before England. And he was this young player that just looked like an absolute superstar for Italy and just had these big performances in these big games. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was his thing. Obviously, he did nothing at the Euros. I think he's been injured a lot. He is 26 years old. He's not a kid anymore, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. He's 26, so he's a bit like Mitoma. He's a year younger than Mitoma. He is a left-sided winger predominantly, but can play as a cam and can play on the right. So, off the bat, he fits the Enzo Maresca, God, I hate this term, but I'm going to say it again, Swiss Army player that can play in different positions, so he fits that. His highest market value on Transfermarkt was 70 million, and now despite only being 26, he could be for 16 million pounds, so whatever that is in euros. Yeah, look, he's not been great for Juve, has he, lately? Like, I'm gonna quickly have a look at his numbers just so I've got a reference here while I'm talking to you, because I feel like that's important. Because I heard Nicky Bandini, Italian football expert, talk about him. Yeah, so look, he's been okay. So in Serie A this campaign, he's got 9 goals and 2 assists in 25 appearances. Not the worst for a winger, to be honest. Really. It's, what's that, 11, so that's, yeah, it's not the worst. A couple of man of the matches. He didn't play a full season, 2,200 minutes. Got a goal, 1 goal in 4 appearances in the Coppa Italia as well. Like, it's okay, but it's not been great. If we look at his history, the season before last, he wasn't great. Yeah, so he was decimated by injury there. He got 2 goals and 5 assists in 6 appearances, actually. 6 starts, excuse me. But in 840 minutes, he got 7 goal involvements. That's all right. I'm trying to find, like, has he ever popped off? So the season, essentially, before Juventus bought him for Fiorentina, he scored 10 goals and got 6 assists for Fiorentina. So, like, it's pretty strong. He's never really popped off numbers-wise, like, in terms of, you know, loads of goals and loads of assists. I'm looking at his highest rating. The Nations League in 2021, he was the highest rated. Juventus in the Champions League in 21-22 season. I don't know. He's like, the reason why his profile is so high is because he's like this moments player. Chiesa, do you know what I mean? Like, we all remember seeing him score big goals here and there, or just absolutely tear it up for Italy. and therefore everyone's like, oh, well, high profile. Would I be against signing Fede Chiesa? I don't think so. Not for 16 million pounds. The only thing is wages, I guess. So the wages are interesting. Would we be able to give him the wages he wants? Maybe. I'm not sure what you are paying him at the moment, but I mean, when he's that low a transfer fee, it is tempting, isn't it? You'd have to say that is tempting. But, as always, guys, I put it up to you. So what do you think? Would you go for Fede Chiesa? I don't think they're cool. I'm thinking of Fede Valverde. Federico Chiesa, would you go for that? Again, he's one of those players that if he does turn up, you would be kind of excited, I suppose. But yeah, he was being quoted like silly money a couple of years ago, even though the transfer market value was saying 70 million euros. Juve would have asked for 100 million euros, and now it could be going for 20 million euros. So let me know what you think. Comment down below. Keep it locked. I'll be back as soon as some news pops. Love you very much. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Peace.